Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from Watkins, Glen International Raceway. Live for the Red Sox Racing Series, sponsored by Not Your Average Grain. Make sure you check out Not Your Average Grain at NotYourAverageGrain.com. Support this league by checking them out and go to NotYourAverageGrain.com/racing league to get your merchandise from them. Veteran owned. A great guy that runs that. Does a great job in all his work. Veteran. Still actually serving in the Navy, if I'm not mistaken. Still got a few years left before retirement. You're watching the qualifying here in the LMP2s. GTE has already been out, with Brian Stroudbeck picking up the pole, with Joe Burchett starting second, Paul Gibson third, Colin Weatherholt fourth. Matthew Gosh will be in fifth, or Goosh, I'm sorry. At the top of the board right now in the G or LMP, it is Jason DeVries, I believe is how you say his name. He's going to be tough to beat from what I've seen so far in practice and qualifying now. Mark Wilson, however, second. Cameron Bidwell and Ross Booth currently rounds out the top four, with James Allard currently as well. We still got 3 minutes and 30 seconds here left in qualifying, so we'll get some of this in. We want to welcome everybody to Trackside Racing Network, tonight's double-header night here on TRN before we take a 2-day break. And that's going to be much needed. It'll be fun. Tonight we will also be live for the the Rays iRacing Legacy Cup Series, live from Michigan. Playoff race number 1 of 2 for round 2. So that's going to be pretty intense racing. It should be a good one for us to cover, not so much for them. But Watkins Glen, we're looking at speeds very fast. We are not running the boot. We are running the Cup circuit here. Right now, Jason's best lap for him so far is 1 minute 0.93, which is absolutely blazing. That is an LMP, of course. But over in the GTE is a 1 minute 6 second, 6:36 second lap. So great laps being put down all over the board. And I'm going to be honest, that GTE class, super, super tight. Even the LMP class is super tight. We are separated by less than a second all throughout the LMP class. Well, a little bit more, like 1.9 seconds separate all 14 cars. So, and then over in the GTE class, it's about 2 seconds separate the entire field from, and that's 15 or 16 cars over there. So, I don't know, man. This is going to be a tight race. Very fast here. This place is absolutely wild when you come here to race. So it's going to be fun to watch and see how this race continues. We're going to be estimating about 30 laps for the LMP. Of course, we do, maybe 29. We do have to hit pit road one time in these cars and the GTE cars. So, of course, 30-minute timed events, 35% fuelage on the car or fuel load. So, take it for what it is. Also, announced today, guys, over on the Trackside Facebook page, if you're watching over there, you'll see a link posted. If you're in YouTube, you can go check out Trackside Racing Network over on Facebook. It has been announced starting in 2021 in January, we will be running a new league, and it is an oval league. However, it is the Trackside Racing GTE Oval Championship that we'll be running on, or starting January. 10 race seasons, short races, 45-minute races, running a bunch of different ovals in the GTE. So that's going to be fun. Doing that. Looking forward to it. Should be a blast. We got a bunch of different tracks, and going to throw some wrenches in there to try to get drivers a little bit messed up throughout the season, so it should be fun. And right now, sign-ups are open, so you can go check that out. Here we go, coming off the final turn. Cameron Bidwell looking to improve. He does not improve that lap. Comes Chris Shieldsmith, currently ninth. Best lap over 1 minute, looking to improve. Actually, he just started his fast lap this time, so we'll check back with him in just a moment. There's Mark Wilson. He's working through the final section of the racetrack and should have one more lap if he chooses to. In that LMP2. Here he comes off the final quarter. Super fast car is currently second on the board. Can he grab the pole away? He does. Maybe got it. He does. Mark Wilson to the point. Wow. You talk about a heck of a lap. Great lap for him. And Jason's not going to have a chance to take that away from the 323. These other guys might, but Jason not going to have a chance to do that as he has already completed qualifying and not going back out. Mark Kudrowski, that is a sick-looking car. That is one of the coolest-looking cars I've seen on the LM. I like that. That is cool. I love the paints on these things. Let's see, who else is out there? I think that might be all. Ross Booth. Can't forget about Zippy here in the LMP2. You can check him out over on Twitch. The Real Zippy on Twitch.tv. He does in-car streaming as well as he works through the carousel. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the track here. You guys can see the ticker and all that stuff here for tonight's race. Bear with me a little bit tonight, guys. I'm still getting used to calling multi-class racing. It's a little bit hard as you see Ross Booth bringing it down pit road, but should be a good race here tonight. But bear with me with this multi-class. I'm still trying to figure out how to use the best way to call it for us. Never really done a lot of multi-class racing, so as far as broadcasting, so we're still trying to get used to it. Alrighty. Here we go for your poll for the LMP2 class. Mark Wilson, Jason DeVries, Ross Booth, Cameron Bidwell, James Zoller, Dave Hill, Lance Turner, Ryan Robertson, Chris Smithshield, Mark Kudrowski, Robert back there in 11th, Kevin Kyle, Dennis Griffin, Ed Sutcliffe going to be. There is more, by the way. Some of them did not qualify. And, of course, over here in our GTE class, should be popping up. There you go. Brian going to be starting in P1 at 171. Joe Burchett going to be starting in P number 2 in the 83. Paul Gibson rolling off in 3rd. Colin Weatherholt. Matthew going to be rolling off in P5. Landon Lacey P6. Terry Dahl rolling off in 7. Tommy Ryan P8. P9 we got Christopher Jimenez. Mitch Heller in P10. Scott Hustad. James Prostell Jr. with Bill Palucki, Dwayne McCarthy, Derek Pemberton, and Ken McLeish rounding out the field. So we will wait to go. We're going to do what we did last week just because I feel like it's kind of the best thing in a way to do this. We'll have both classes being shown on the screen at the same time. Your LMP is going to be up top in the yellow. In the blue, it is the GTEs. Waiting on Mark Wilson to roll off. Congratulations to Mark as you look down at this great field that we got here tonight. One of the biggest fields we've seen again. Around 30 cars or so here tonight. So, of course, turn one going to be a doozy as well. Also, you will see these GTE cars space out behind these LMP2. They're going to be about 10 seconds or so behind before we go, but they will interact probably once or twice at least this race. See Joe Burchett, of course, right there. And that the Chevrolet Corvette. I'm about to say the Porsche. See how he does here tonight. He's got some good guys that's going to be starting up there with him, though. James Zollard, not James Zollard. James Prostell is going to be up there. And Landon Lacey, Scott Hustad's in it. Tommy Ryan, we know what he's good. Brian Stroubbrook, we know he's good by grabbing a pole, of course. That's a great looking shot of the GTE cars coming up the hill into the Essex. Alrighty, here you go. The pace truck. These guys are running the bus stop of the track, and that's always a fun one. Some guys just may go through that bus stop, to be completely honest. I don't blame them. Try to get both starts high from the blimp here from Watkins Glen, one of my favorite road courses that we come to. Everybody knows Watkins Glen and how good this place actually is and how fun it can be. So I expect tonight's race to be right there as well in this one. Alrighty. We wait for the pace truck to drop off. You see the GTE's a little bit further back, just coming off the carousel. So they got a little ways before they go green. They cannot go green, I think, till start-finish line. So race number 2 for the 6-race season. Ready to get underway here for the LMP2s and the GTEs. As the pace truck takes the right side down pit road. And the green flag out of the air. LMP2 racing underway. Immediately following these, we will jump back to the GTE as we look high above at these LMP2s going into turn 1. 3 wide, a little bit further behind them. Everybody works out of that one pretty good. Let's jump back as the GTE is set to work off the final corner here. Getting ready to go green as we tighten up the field just a little bit. Pace truck is already in. LMP2 is already underway. Now the GTEs get their turn. As the pace car for them, of course, like I said, already in. Oh, a little bit early start there for Joe Burchett. And that's a tough thing. Not really used to starting when they start. So we'll see how that all works out. It's not going to be a penalty. It looks like everybody pretty much got back to where they was. But through turn 1, not going to be an issue. But we're going to jump back up as the battle for the lead is on. Ross Booth under attack as Mark Wilson has already dropped 2 spots. He goes to third. Ross Booth goes to the lead. Off the final corner, Ross Booth will lead this lap. Cameron Bidwell going to be second. Mark Wilson third. What happened to Jason? It's about to take me just a minute. Something happened to Jason at one point, yes. We may have another issue here as well. I'm not sure what happened to Jason. I'm trying to find him. Here he is. This is a replay of what just happened in these LMP2 cars. That he was up front. He took the lead from Mark Wilson. Oh, there's what happened. He gets hard contact into the wall, and that's going to end his night here early at Watkins Glen. One of the favorites out already. May have another issue. Kevin Kyle also has had a problem in his LMP2 car. Not sure what happened to him. As we try to see what happened, this is what happened to Kevin off turn 1. Somebody else went around a couple cars. Oh, that's what happened. Lana Lacey already out as well. Dang. You're talking about some issues already. A lot of these guys, we started off with 30 cars. We are already down to 21. Make it 23 now. I'm sorry, 22. Brian Straubenbeck still out front. Joe Burchett putting some pressure on for the race lead with Paul Gibson running third in this one. Off the final corner. Let's see if Joe gets a run down the straightaway here. At the front stretch down in turn 1. One thing about turn 1, you can actually be really aggressive in really about any car you take here, to be honest. Off turn 1. About even right there. Back up front with our LMP2 cars. This is Cameron Bidwell trying to run down Dave Hill, who has taken second away. Ross Booth, new fastest lap in the LMP2. 1 minute 4.96. Well, look at this. Joe Burchett and Paul Gibson closing in here on Brian. One thing Joe's going to do here, and he's going to use this to his advantage, the longer he can run behind this car and use that draft, he's going to allow him to take less field than a lot of these guys. Same as Paul Gibson doing the same. So even if Joe was to give this spot up, I don't be surprised if he just rides and cruises there, which is a great strategy call. We've seen Ross Booth win championships like that. And don't be surprised if we see Joe or Paul Gibson do the same in that car. Ryan Robertson working off the final corner. These guys are almost catching up already. Wow, we are closing in. Here's Derek Pemberton. He's going to let, or try about Diane McCarthy. These guys are working up through the S's. You can already see there is some LMP cars already starting to mix in with some of these guys. This is where things get interesting. Derek Pemberton makes a big move there. That he did not have to make that move. It was the LMP's cars to go around him. They have to make that move. But he went ahead and did it anyway. As that is actually our race leaders right here with Dave Hill, Cameron Bidwell, as they start working up on another section of these cars. I don't know why I don't have my screen on in this car. It's kind of weird. Always interesting. I'm going to be honest, looking at this already, thinking that we was only going to mix one time. Yeah, look at this right here. Thinking we was only going to mix once or twice. I can see us probably mixing 3 or 4 times in this one. Dave Hill. Cameron Bidwell still pretty much nose to tail. As you can already see some of the cars over on your screen that is out of this race already. Scott Hustad, he is out there running. I think Bill Pawlucki is also just coming back out on track, I believe. It's showing he's out, but he is back out on track at the moment. There you go, some more LMPs working around some of these leaders. Paul Gibson getting past, Joe Burchett getting past. That's where things get very interesting. This is pretty much like the real thing, and now Brian's going to have to deal with this up to the S's. This could be interesting for our race leader here in the GTE class. He's going to give up a lot of time to second, third place because they was able to get around them a lot quicker. And yeah, you can see the time already close up with Burchett and Gibson all the way up to Brian. Dave Hill, Cameron Bidwell side by side. Cameron Bidwell has to check out of that. They got more cars right up in front of them. Like I said, this mixed stuff that happens here. You can see it's a real tough place to drive these cars with other cars involved. And yeah, right there, Cameron Bidwell has to get out of the throttle. Gives that spot back to Dave Hill. He approached that a way different than what he should have. Now he's caught up behind him even more. Yeah, he just got into Paul Gibson. We knew that was going to happen. Around he goes. Joe Burchett somehow dodged this. Watch this on board. Oh, my goodness. Joe lets the LMP go. He actually goes wide into the grass. He kind of got lucky. He went into the grass, and look at that. There they go, both back into the fence. Colin Weatherholt was able to close in on Burchett from that, but, man, you talk about a break for Joe in that situation. Dang. That's the beauty of these LMP cars in a place like this. It is going to be tough. Gibson is able to still run. You see him right there. But he did lose about 3 spots from that. And a lot of damage on the back of that car. Actually looked like some of the wing actually broke as well. So he's not going to have as much downforce. I don't think so. But Derek Pemberton, he's up to P8. Got to shout him out. My broadcast partner in crime most of the time. He's just minding his business, hoping that he don't get killed. James Prostel up in front of him. James always bringing the hottest paints into the season. Mitch Heller having a good run as well. Mitch up to 6th. How about that? And Matthew, like that color green, up to 4th. That's wild, man. We're going to be about 5 minutes or so, a little bit more than 5 minutes till halfway, as we are only 9 minutes right now into this event, out of the 30-second event. Matthew goes off the racetrack, allows Paul Gibson to get by him. Here's the replay of that. He just messed up the bus stop. And some issues there for the 222 car. And here we go. Oh, more contact. Off the track goes Matthew through the sand pit into the wall. Contact. That's going to probably end the 222's car's night. Will he tow? Nope. He's going to back it up and keep going. We're going to see that. I think he had some help as he's caught in that sand trap trying to get out of it. He is losing a ton of time. He's already lost so many spots. Here's a replay. I think he might have help right here from this LMP2 car. That was the 33. Oh, he actually came down on the 33 of Ed Sutcliffe, and then you see him once again into the wall. Not really no hard damage, but a little bit right on that fender. Man, he just lost a ton of spots on that one. Colin Weatherholt behind Joe Burchett for second place right now. One thing about Colin, he seems to get better, but we do got some more LMP cars sneaking up on these guys as the headlights come on here on the Chevrolet Corvettes. We're off the final corner. Good passing opportunity right here for them LMP cars as the 25. I'm sorry, is that the 25 or 26? That might have been the 26. It was of Chris Smithshield that goes around for Chat and Weatherholt. Weatherholt in a situation here. This is interesting. He's side by side now with that LMP2 car. And yeah, it's going to caught him kind of at the wrong time. A lot of it seems like more luck than anything about catching these cars. Cameron Bidwell all on the back of Dennis Griffin. Cameron's already dropped back to 7th. He's had an issue somewhere on the track. Not sure where that would be, but he has dropped back quite a bit here as well. Man, if our night's going to be like this tonight, it is going to be wild when we keep going to Michigan after this one. Wow. Terry Dahl has, thought he had an issue. He does not. Does got damage on that 53 car. Some pretty severe damage. By the way, just for information, this is the first time they have ran a multi-class, I believe, since it was 2012, from what I've been told. So it's been a while. On board with Cameron Bidwell now. Driver of that LMP2 car. Once again, the gold represents the LMP, the blue, the GTE. Colin Weatherholt got around Joe Burchett. Joe could use this to his advantage like Colin probably was, utilizing that draft a little bit. We got about 2 minutes or so before we possibly start seeing cars hit pit lane. Cameron Bidwell has had an issue. Oh, never mind. He's just on pit road. This is scheduled. See the total time for that car. He will take that quick repair. These guys do get one quick repair. And you can see it. He did take it. Total time on pit road for this LMP2 car. Taking quite a bit of gas here, it looks like. 13.1 seconds. Paul Gibson is also on pit road in the GTE. We'll keep it on at 36.8 for him. Something happened to Paul Gibson. Yeah, he's done. He missed his pit box. I think he missed it. Here he comes down pit lane. And he has caught it tonight, I believe. Now, he missed his box, and he's actually still sitting. I think he actually towed back to pit lane. Yeah, he is done for the night, it looks like. Wow. Big playoff implication, or not playoff, but big points implication there with Paul Gibson out. We know how good he is. He's probably going to use this as that dropped race because you are allowed one dropped race, and this would probably be it. Oh, we got 87 Cup cars. I promise, Paige. It is coming up after this. Watching Ross Booth. He hasn't come down pit lane yet. A little bit further back. Well, not further back, but here's your GTEs. 1, 2, and 3. Brian Stroudbeck, Colin Weatherholt, and Joe Burchett will be in P3. See if Brian comes down this time. He's out front. He's going to probably have to hit sooner than these other guys. He hasn't really had no draft at all during this race. So I would imagine he would have to pit sooner than later. I mentioned Tommy Ryan actually came down pit lane already 5 laps ago. It shows. I don't know. He may have had an issue. Usually he's running better than this. And he spent 7 seconds total time on pit lane. So I think that's about how much gas these guys may need. It'll take a little bit on that, but we'll see. About Derek Pemberton. Shout out to him. Somehow right now running in P5. He has done a fantastic job. James Prostel having one heck of a night here tonight as well. Running right up in front of Derek. They're trying to run him down. Shout out to James. Fantastic job by both of these guys. Les Turner is now on pit lane in the LMP2 car. Keep an eye on him for just a moment. He's the only one, I think. We got another one exiting pit road. Mitch Heller, I believe, is exiting pit road. Yes, he took 9.6 seconds worth of fuel. Here's Les Turner. He's going to be down and away right about now. And 13.9. Ross Booth on pit lane. We'll watch him. He is our race leader here tonight. We're going to watch his current pit box or pit lane time total. Average has been about 36 to 38 seconds total time for these LMP cars on pit lane. James Prostel Jr. on pit lane this time in a 16. No tires are going to be taken, by the way, and that's just a FYI. As we watch Ross, he will be down and away. Maybe. Total time on pit lane for Ross is going to be pretty good, actually. 36 flat for his total time. Prostel down and away as well. He took 9.6 seconds. Total time on pit lane, however, going to be not the best, but not horrible. 33 seconds. The best we've seen total time-wise on pit road was Tommy Ryan. Keep in mind, he did only take a little bit less gas, I think. So, Colin Weatherholt, Brian Straub back on pit road. That's who we'll watch. Joe Burchett takes over the lead in the GTE. We watch Brian here on pit lane. Let's see the total time on pit lane and how much fuel he actually takes. I think he's going to have to take a little bit more than Colin. Down and away. And no, Colin's actually going to take more. Colin took 10 seconds worth of fuel. And total time is 33.1. Collins is 33.3. So this is going to be interesting when Joe Burchett comes down. And at 83. Watch him to come down this time as he works off the carousel. Ryan Robertson has taken over the lead in the LMP2s, him and Dave Hill, but have not hit pit road. Once they do, it looks like Ross Booth will be able to retain the lead in that for at least now. Chris Smithshield and Sutcliffe also on pit road in the LMPs. Here comes Burchett coming down pit lane. Probably take that quick repair here as well, I would expect. Somebody else coming down as well. I thought it was Derek Pemberton. It looks like Chris Smithshield coming back down, I believe. Yeah, Smithshield is coming back down pit lane. Not sure what happened there, but here is Burchett. Let's watch the time on pit lane. Here he is already at 19 seconds. We average about 33 seconds on pit lane in these GTEs. Everybody's around that time, so Burchett down and away, smoking the tires on the way out. We'll see if it helps him. Watch him to get on it. He does do pretty good. It's going to be close. And I think he already gave it up. Yes, he has. So now he's got to try to run down as Derek Pemberton is in the lead here in this GTE. Now he will have to hit pit lane. Keep that in mind. Terry Dahl is on pit road. You see him right there on your screen. Took that quick repair. He definitely wanted that. A little bit slow pit stop there at 35.2 for him. Ross Booth retakes the lead. Still waiting on Derek Pemberton to come down. And he will be our final pit stop of the night. And here comes the 82 down pit lane. That was his first ever lap led, by the way, in the Red Sox Racing Series, I believe. So congratulations to Derek for doing that. I know he's been wanting to do that for a while. We'll see where he shakes up at as well. As he is on pit lane, you see Pemberton right there. Down and away. Took about the same amount of fuel as everybody else that has been on pit lane. What's the total time going to be off? This is a big race between him and James Prostell, who's right behind him. Yeah, pretty close. Prostell looks like he's going to be able to get it, but it's going to be close here. Derek's going to be right out behind him, so Derek has to try to race him a little bit. And then Tommy Ryan, I believe, will have to pit again, if I'm not mistaken. So Tommy Ryan is going to run down Derek. Yeah, Tommy's going to have to pit again, so Derek's smart here. He just let Tommy go after this LMP. And, I think he tried to let him go, and unfortunately did not. Yeah, that was a smart move. He did let him go. Oh, big wreck. Who was involved in this? Was Burchett involved, or did he just miss him? Oh, Burchett just actually goes into grass. It wasn't really a wreck. And I hate saying it, but in a way, Joe kind of got lucky again, even though you don't really want to X in a series. And there's a replay of Ryan Robertson, hard contact there. Able to keep going, but definitely interesting. Only thing with Joe, with him going wide like he did, it's going to cost him about a second. As you see Tommy Ryan now making a pass for P4 in the GTE. Once again, I think Tommy will have to hit pit lane, or he's going to run out one. We'll have to wait and see. Hop on board with Joe here and ride with him. He's about 1.67 seconds down. Closing 1.8, should I say. Trying to close in on Colin Weatherholt right up in front of him. Collins actually might be caught behind somebody. Now, he is actually caught behind the car. I was wondering how he was closing in so much. Able to put that pass on to 72, Christopher Jimenez. Joe Burchett has actually, oh, never mind, I lied. I thought he actually caught the back end. Colin has actually caught the back end of Brian. Right here, he is closing in, or trying to close in, as the LMP of Ryan Robertson goes around. Trying to take that spot. Brian's still out the lead. Brian's done a good job here tonight. Not much going on in our LMP2 class. That's why we haven't really talked about it too much. Everybody's kind of spaced out, with the exception of right here of Cameron Bidwell trying to still run down Ryan Robertson for fourth. He's still about a second back, and everybody else is spaced out for the most part. Here's a pretty big race. Derek Pemberton, James Prostell. Derek's still looking for his first top five in this series. Prostell hasn't had a great run as well. He's been looking for one as well. Either way, it's a great finish by both of these guys. I think Derek's going to have a run up through the S's, utilizing that draft. not so much. Great bus stop by both drivers, though, honestly. I think Tommy Ryan's in save mode a little bit as well. I believe he's trying to save it, make sure he's got enough to get back. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much he can really go. Let me check our... Check a little bit here and see when the last time we actually pitted. As you see, Derek trying to make a pass. Not going to be able to just yet. Good battle here, though, as we watched them go into turn one. So looking at some of these guys that hit pit road, let's go by Derek. He was the last one that hit pit road. 17 laps. Looking at it, Tommy's going to be close. If he took, and I'm going to be honest, what makes me think he might not be close is he didn't take as much gas as he does, guys. That's what worries me a little bit. Here's Pemberton looking to the inside. Yeah, Prostel going to give him that spot. Great passes on there for Derek, and well played by James as well. Live to fight another day. Both of them guys. Derek finally getting good, kid, and here he is running P5. Brian Straubbeck still trying to lead this race. He is out front by about 7/10 right now. Watching our race leader in the LMP2 car. Ryan Robertson, Cameron Bidwell a little bit further back. Cameron was able to finally get up to Ryan, or pass him. We got a battle up front for the GTEs as well. Pemberton has closed in a little bit on Tommy Ryan and continuing to close in. Derek's making a big move here, trying to get up to fourth. Same as James Prostel. Would love to get back into the top five. Yeah, I think Tommy's short on gas here. I'm going to be honest. I think he is saving. Tommy's not had the luck this season. Oh, no, that was interesting. Tommy and Derek both goes wide. I don't know who that was. Went to the grass. Was it Dennis? No, it wasn't Dennis Griffin. He's P7. Not sure who that was, actually. Oh, it was Chris Fitzgerald right here, who falls in line behind Derek and James. And Derek's going to give him the outside line in that 13 car. Good opportunity here for James. James may try to make a move here on Derek. He's going to have a run. I think Derek gives this to him right now. I think, well, he drives it in turn one pretty hard. Thought Derek might have given it to him to try to pass him again, but he does not. Up front for the race lead of the GTE, it is tightening up. How about this? Brian Straubbeck out in front with Colin Weatherholt closing in. Colin looking for a big win here tonight as they work into turn one. It's Ross Booth that goes by both of them guys. As we've got about 2 laps to go here in this one for what we're estimating it to be. continue to watch here. This battle still heats up. Meanwhile, Ross Booth taking the white flag this time as he works out of the final. Actually, this is the white flag right here. Ross Booth going to win at Watkins Glen. Brian Straubach going to win at Watkins Glen in the GTE. Colin Weatherholt going to finish in second. Mark Wilson going to finish in P2 in the LMP2 car. P3 going to go to Joe Burchett. Dave Hill finishes P3. P4 goes to Derek Pemberton. Well, maybe. Still got to get there first. P4 over in the GTE or LMP going to go to Cameron Bidwell. Ryan Robertson is going to finish in 5th. Derek Pemberton has one more final turn. Him and James Prostell Jr. 4th and 5th. Heck of a run by both of them guys. Fantastic job by the 4th and 5th place car as Prostell crosses. Ross Booth finishes it up here. Over here in the LLP, and he will have to go all the way back around and come down pit lane if he chooses to, as Brian Straubach also with a big win here as he works over the bus stop. Congratulations, both of them guys. I'm sorry, he works out turn the final corner. See who we talk to first. Colin Weatherholt finishes P2 in the GTE. Great race for Ross Booth, picking up P1. Definitely not easy at a place like this with the track being kind of small, honestly, for these cars. With multi-class racing, it's definitely difficult, can imagine anyway. And we're going to wait here just a minute. We'll talk to a couple of these guys before we get ready to move on and go broadcast some Michigan 87 Cup cars. Let's talk to Ross Booth. Ross Booth, Adam Chapman up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
P1, man. Talk us through it. Another multi-class race, picking up a big win here tonight. That was a good race, honestly.
Honestly, that might be the most fun I've had in Red Sox and forever. There's been a lot of good races lately. That was up there. I think we passed the GTE field like 3 or 4 times.
3 times, yes.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I gotta apologize to Bill. I think I doored him through the S's there, but I didn't mean to do that. You're just going so fast in these cars, and you're sort of stuck with the lane you choose. So if you gotta adjust, you're gonna take out the guy in front. So I think I just doored him, but other than that, it was a lot of fun. And yeah.
Man, it was a good race, and you talked about it. What is the most difficult thing about driving these cars? Is it working around the GTEs? We always talk about pit stops being important. I don't feel like that's the case in these LMP2s.
Yeah, traffic management, adjusting your lines to get around the slower cars is definitely where lap time is made. But the biggest challenge with this car is just staying off of the curbs. In a GT car, you want to be straddling the curbs and hitting them as much as possible. You want to really not take them in this car, or you'll get floor damage, or it'll start doing the bunny hop like we saw there in the chicane where Jason lost it there. But all in all, it's a lot of fun.
Hey man, good job again tonight. Shout outs and all that you want to give out.
Shout out to everyone that comes out. We're like having like 30 plus cars every week. So it's awesome when there's more cars on the track. So I appreciate everyone coming out, and hopefully we'll see everybody next week.
Hey, good job on making it fun tonight, man. There you go. There is Ross Booth. I don't think we got Brian in here, but we do got Colin Weatherholt, who finished in P2 in the GTE. So we'll hop in and talk to him. Hey, Colin, it's Adam up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Finishing P2 tonight. Almost ran down Brian there towards the end. It kind of looked like he was getting a little bit faster, but these LMP2s definitely making it tough on the GTE cars. Talk us through your night, though, man. That was a fun race to watch.
Man, it was pretty crazy. The LMP2 cars are just so much faster, and this is a pretty pretty short track, so they're passing us a lot.
Is that one of the most difficult things? Because we know you guys are supposed to hold your line from what we've been told, but they come up on you at times where it's kind of hard to figure out where you're supposed to go. Is that one of the things you're watching, or are you watching the leader that's in front of you? Like, what are you watching?
So mostly this race, I was just looking ahead, letting them do their thing. If they come over voice chat and say they're going which direction, I'll let them in. But just trying to be really predictable, let them get around.
Man, you did a good job here tonight, finishing P2. Definitely not a bad run for Watkins, Glen. Any shout-outs or anything you want to give out?
Yeah, just a big shout out to PG13, Les and Terry. Great job to Brian there. He took the win there. I thought I was going to catch him there, and got in his draft just barely, and I wanted another lap, but it's okay.
Yeah, I thought we was going to have another one as well. Hey, good job, man. We'll move down and we'll talk to Mark here in just a minute. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to Mark here in just a second. Mark Wilson finishing P number 2 tonight. Give me just a second. We'll bring him up. Mark Wilson. There we go. We'll just move in here. Mark, let's add him up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Mark, you got me?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Adam, I got you.
Finishing P2 tonight in this LMP car. Woo, that had to be a doozy.
Hey, you know what, Adam, I tell you, man, these cars are a blast. Big thanks to Les and Terry for allowing us to run these cars. This is my track, and if I'm going to win anywhere, to be here. Unfortunately, I had that issue at the very beginning out of the bus stop. I had to avoid the accident, but we're also so good, I couldn't track him down. Big props to him for winning and the class winner of the GTE as well. Yeah, man, but I had a blast trying, but I knew, but I enjoyed it anyway.
What is the toughest thing in these cars, man, that you're dealing with? I was asking Ross, and I feel like it's not pit stops like we normally see with the GTE. It seems like it's just, trying to figure out these other cars that's out there with you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's new to everybody. Well, as far as this series goes, and I don't race in the seasonals anymore, and I can discuss that with you off camera, off tape.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but these guys are great guys, and they're learning, and everybody's working hard, but it makes it tough because we don't know exactly what each person's going to do because it's the first couple of races. But as the season progresses, people will get better, and everyone will pretty much know what to do. And if we have an accident, it's just an accident. You know what I mean? Not because they weren't doing what they're supposed to do. So, yeah, we're looking good.
For sure on that, man. Shout-outs and all that you want to give out tonight?
Big thanks to the team. It looks like TMC Racing took a 1-2-3 in the LMP2 car. So, big up there. Like I said before, Les and Terry and you were putting on the broadcast. And, I'll be looking forward to next week, and hopefully I can do it again.
For sure, buddy. Hey, good job tonight.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, man.
Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Next up, we got the winner of the GTE, Brian, putting it in P1 in that Porsche 991. Brian, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
P1 tonight, man. It was not easy. You got out front and basically took off, but it was not easy by any means. You had guys right there on your bumper almost all the whole night and was able to pull out the win. Talk us through that. That was a wild one.
Well, I for sure, if there was one more lap, I think Colin would have been passing me. I kept making some mistakes those last few laps, and he caught up, and then I saw the white flag, and I was happy to see that, to keep him behind me one more lap.
For sure. Let me ask you a question. I was talking to the LMP2 guys, and normally with these GTEs, I always feel like pit stops are one of the most important things. It seems like it's a little bit different this year with these LMP2 cars out on track as well. Is it different? I know pit stops are still one of the main focuses in the GTE. Everybody's got to have a good stop and all that good stuff. But what is the main focus when you're out there? Is it watching everybody else?
Well, I want to pit when I see a lot of traffic coming up behind me, or if I'm catching traffic, just to try to maximize my pit stop there.
For sure on that, man. Any shout-outs you want to give out tonight? That was a fantastic race by you.
Thanks. No, I really don't have a team or anything. I just want to shout out to the league, Red Sox Racing League, and to you, Adam, for broadcasting it. Thanks.
Hey, way to make it fun, dude. Good job tonight. There you go. There's Brian, your winner in the GTE. It was a heck of a race, but that will do it for me here, guys. Check out Not Your Average Green. We'll be back in just a few moments, in about 10 minutes, with the 87 Cup cars, the iRacing Legacy Series.